It feels, and I said this will sound strange, but you can get away with having a big man in college basketball. Whereas in the NBA, the traditional big man is gone. But you have a couple of guys in here. Why is it in college basketball, or maybe this is an aberration, that the big men are, front and center?
You know, I, a lot of people are saying Zach Edey can't play in the NBA and isn't going to be impactful. I beg to differ. You look at a guy like Boban Marjanovic. He's played a little bit. He's had a little bit of an impact. Zach Edey is a similar player, and I think he's a lot more mobile. I think he's really worked on his lateral movement. I think he's done a good job of getting his body in the best possible shape he could possibly get it in. And the bottom line is when he camps out there in the lane 5 feet from the basket, puts his arms up like this, you can't get around him to deflect the entry pass into the post. And when he catches it, he's really tough to stop. I mean, look at a guy like Yao Ming, the success he had in the NBA. Granted, it was a different era and the game was played a different way, but Zach Edey's more athletic than Yao Ming. I played against Yao Ming. It took him a long time to get going front and back on a straight line, and he also could not move laterally very well at all. And Zach Edey's been really working on his mobility. It's going to be interesting to see how it translates because he's a big-time factor. We saw it yesterday. He was an unguardable force. He makes his free throws. He's pretty good blocking shots on the defensive end of the floor. So I would think there are going to be some NBA teams that give him a legit shot to make it.
But NC State has a big guy in DJ Burns. I mean, he's a different big guy. Connecticut, has a big man as well in Clingan. So we're seeing the big man have at least a role, and I wondered if it's college coaches may not be in love with the three. Because Danny Hurley, they run an old school, pick and roll, and it feels like I likened him to Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. It's old school football. He's running old school basketball at Connecticut, and it feels like as a college coach, you can control the volume of threes, whereas in the NBA, it feels like everybody gets to shoot it.
Well, the thing is, everyone can shoot it in the NBA, and it's different in college. Not everyone can shoot that open three, and as a result, the court becomes less spaced. There's less driving lanes to get to the basket. To me, Donovan Clingan, his impact is on the defensive end of the floor. When you have a guy like that who has the type of mobility that he does, you can't post up and score on him one-on-one. He's just going to block your shot. If one of your outside perimeter guys gets beaten off the dribble, he's waiting at the rim to protect the rim. So he doesn't allow points in the paint. He doesn't allow points at the rim because he's such a good shot blocker and rim protector. And what makes him so effective over a guy like Zach Edey is he can guard pick and roll. He can move his feet. He can even switch onto a guard. He can space a guard because he's so long. And then when a guard goes up to shoot, he can get up there and contest and block the shot. And he can also move his feet to the point where the guard can't get around him. To me, the biggest impact of Clingan is on the defensive end of the floor. He's, to me, the defensive player of the year in college basketball because he allows Danny Hurley to do so many things with his defense because he makes up for so many mistakes and cleans up the mess so many times.